When looking at old doors down in New Mexico, we frequently come across large decorative nails, big dome nail heads. These are referred to as clavos. Well, clavos probably technically just means nail. The term seems to be most commonly used these days to refer to these big domed head nails. Today I'm going to make my version of clavos, except these will actually be domed headed bolts that will bolt all the way through the door, or in this case a gate, and then through the hinges, which are on the inside. I'm making these out of what are known as elevator bolts, kind of like a carriage bolt, but they have a big flat head. So I need to be able to dome that head without damaging the threads on the bolt. And to do that, I need to make a tool that's essentially a monkey tool, but it's domed to match the swedge that I want to swedge the head in. This tool is made out of a piece of an old jackhammer bit. Mostly it's a matter of cutting it to length, annealing it, and then drilling a hole lengthwise that is longer than the bolt that I need to work on. There is a cross hole drilled in this that helps let some dirt and scale out, but also gives you a little window you can see if your bolt is going to be too long. If you put too long a bolt in this, you're going to upset it into the tool, and you may never get it back out. Because these bolts have a square shoulder on them, I need to use a square punch to kind of square up the end of the hole, which of course deforms the round hole a little bit and pushes some material in there. So it's back to annealing, and then we're going to go back and drill that out and clean it up. Now, before doing the heat treating on this, I took a cut-off piece and I tested it by hardening in air, which it did not harden, hardening in oil, which barely showed any results, and quenching in water. And the water quench seems to perform the best. I get about a Rockwell 55 as quenched, quenching it in water. This doesn't need to be particularly hard, and it could probably be made out of mild steel and not even heat treated, but doing it this way, it will survive a little bit longer. And of course, the struck end was tempered way back so that it isn't going to mar my hammer. Well, making the tool probably took me about as long as it's going to take to make all these clavos that I need, or decorative head bolts, whatever you want to call them. The whole function of this tool, though, is to allow me to drop the threaded portion of this in here where it's protected and I'm not going to mess it up. And then I can put this in a swedge and get that dome shape I want. After that, I can bring it back to the tool, clamped in the vise. Then I can do any texturing, decorative stamping, chisel work, whatever it is I think these things need. And the sky's the limit. That's just up to your imagination. Well, that gives us some nice clavos, or domed-headed bolts as the case may be. I guess technically if they're not a nail, they're not really clavos. But the look is going to be what I'm going for, and these will go through the outside of the wooden gate these are going to be on, and then through the hinge on the inside of the gate, because the gate swings towards the inside, and then they'll be attached with a square-headed nut. This will give a really nice ornamental effect. There will be 2 rows of 8 of these on the gate. It's a short gate. It's only about a 3-foot tall gate. As I would suspect, making the tool so that these went smoothly and easily took longer than actually making those, especially when you consider that we had to let this anneal a couple of times. But it worked exactly the way I wanted it to. No complaints whatsoever about the tool. And this is one that I'll always have available, so I'll probably be doing more of this sort of a thing in the future, just because I've already got the tool. And making 20 of these things, what did it take? Maybe a half an hour total to do all of these, and that includes doming them and doing some texturing. As far as texturing, I really like the simple planishing look that I got on these. The chisel marks are nice, but I think it might be a little overdone depending on what you're going for. But that's just up to your own personal aesthetics. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by to watch today's video, with a special shout out to my channel members and my Patreon patrons. Channel members receive early access to the videos, while Patreon patrons at a certain level not only receive early access, they receive the videos ad-free over on Patreon, with the occasional exclusive bit of behind-the-scenes content. So if you're tired of the annoying ads here on YouTube, you might want to check out Patreon. In the meantime, I hope you have time in your day to get out to your shop, make something, have fun, but stay safe, wear your safety glasses. We'll see you for the next video.